everyone who came and everyone on Zoom. So if you haven't met me before, my name is Sheri Ellis, Morningstar. I run the Seattle area witches meetup and the Temple of Avalon, which is housed here at the moment, but we'll be moving soon, darn it. But I will, I'll keep everyone posted on what we're doing. But I've been a witch for almost 40 years.
You twinkle your toes.
We wish.
And I teach witchcraft classes.
Do you do any online witchcraft? Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Wow.
Here at the Avalon Healing Arts Center, my partner priestesses are Leah and
What's their job?
come up to the camera. Hi. Whoops, I'm sorry. And Kathleen.
Hello, everyone.
And they offer Reiki training and healings and coaching and all kinds of great services. The reason that I put this session together, I won't call it a class because it's really more of a interactive kind of storytelling kind of session. But the reason I put it together was that when I first started this round of witchcraft classes, we just kind of tangent. We had a little tiny tangent into the ghost conversation, and people were like, "Whoa, let's talk about ghosts!" So
Yeah.
Leah and I have been working together and separately on ghost investigations and ghost healing is what I call it. For what, 20 years?
It's been a minute.
It's been a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we've had some interesting stories that we can share, and also we invited Ken and
Donna.
Welcome from the Puget Sound Ghost Hunters, and they have done a lot of big investigations, and we're gonna hear some of their stories today as well. And the idea being that we want people to have more of this conversation. There is not one way of doing ghost hunting, ghost investigation, or ghost healing. There's only us individuals in little pockets that don't talk to each other much doing it, right? And so so Leah and I have been saying we need to have more of this conversation going on, because I know that I've been doing ghost work all my life since I was a wee baby because of my dad. Anyway, but and I know that that's the case for a lot of people. A lot of people have had all kinds of interesting experiences their whole lives, including our special guest here. And as you have experiences, you learn, you evolve your techniques, like it or not, right? That's kind of the way life works. And I don't think there's a whole lot of conversation about, kind of comparing notes and, hey, I tried this one time, what did it, and it kind of worked cool. Oh, great. Well, let's try that next time. So anyway, that's the idea. And without further ado, do you want to talk about your favorite stories there, or shall I turn it over to?
Well, my favorite stories are, I'm a member of Puget Sound Ghost Hunters, and my favorite stories are all wrapped up in Ken and Donna's favorite stories. So I'm going to let Ken take the floor if that's okay.
Yeah, I've seen her run away, go, "Mommy."
Oh, yeah.
Now that was you, Ken.
No.
I want to start with a quick story that I have.
Okay.
That was so I've been a Reiki master since 1999 and Sui and Karuna since 2000. And when I learned Karuna Reiki in 2000, I also was reading this book about using Reiki in ghost situations, which blew my mind. And it was just, one page in this huge book. So anyway, I don't think that a lot of people have done this either. So I started doing Reiki in ghost situations when, so if it's now closed, but if you ever went to a place in Capitol Hill called the Museum of Mysteries, it was, you've never been there?
Oh, wow.
It's unfortunately out of business and closed.
Oh.
Yeah, I know, boo. But at the
Maybe
time,
you guys should open one.
yeah, right? Maybe we could get that building too. Because that building is incredibly haunted. That building was built in the
Oh, we like
1930s.
those.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love those buildings.
Totally, right?
Mhm.
That's probably for rent for sale. I don't know. Anyway,
Check it out, Sheri.
at the time, I
Get
know,
back to me.
yeah. So at the time, they were doing what they called haunted lock-ins, which if you've never done those,
Yeah.
are where they invite the public in and they lock the doors in a building that's haunted, and then the public gets to experience what it's like. Have at it, right? And this building that they were in was built in right before the Prohibition. And so during the Prohibition, there was all kinds of illegal activities that were happening in this building. And it had a basement area. And the basement is where most of the haunted activity is. And that's, of course, where all the, gambling and drugs and alcohol and prostitution, all kinds of other things are
Sounds like a fun place.
yeah. And so,
You know how to talk to those people.
right? So we were there, I think this is 02, 03, somewhere in there, almost 20 years ago. And we're in there for the haunted lock-in. They lock us in, and we're walking down the stairs to the basement. And the stairs are these open wood stairs with, with air going through them, right? And as I'm walking to like almost the bottom stair, something reaches through the stairs and grabs my ankle.
Oh my
And I almost
gosh.
went, and I'll tell you what, I tripped. I tripped out. 'Cause it was burning hot too. It
Oh,
was,
yeah.
That
it was,
sounds very familiar.
really
Yes, it
gripping me
does.
hard. And so I went, and I happened to be there with several other people who did Reiki.
Did they bubble you?
Interesting. I'm sorry?
Did they bubble you, she said?
No,
Oh,
because at the time I
yeah.
had no experience of any techniques.
What's bubbling?
Putting a bubble of energy around you to protect you. But just
Yeah, it's a
visualize a white
protective
bubble. That,
It's a really
by the
good
way,
thing to
lesson
do.
everyone, if you don't know that already, please put a white bubble
I
around
never
yourself
do that.
anytime you're in a place.
I do.
Anytime. Yeah. Yeah.
never done it before. Ken wants the raw experience.
Yeah.
That's right.
Actually, he wants me to have it and he wants to watch. So I bubble because I don't enjoy it.
She is a target.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
You and I, we kind of
I
have
know,
lasting
I know.
experiences or
And we
something.
both love purple, so.
So, maybe like you, when I walk into a haunted place, I'm the one that they push and grab and
yes.
choke
Yeah.
sometimes.
Yes,
Scratch,
absolutely.
scratch all
Scratch.
the time.
All the time.
So I get this thing grabbing my ankle, right? And I trip out. But I happen to be with a couple of friends who had Reiki experience. And I went kind of under behind the stair, under where this thing grabbed me. And I'm just standing there, and it's just incredible ball of burning hot energy. And as I'm tuning in, she's like nodding.
Yeah.
As I'm tuning in, it's just angry, scared, out of your mind, unable to communicate, kind of.
Mhm.
Kind of
Ow.
energy.
Sorry.
And so, I'm trying to communicate with this, and all I'm getting is unable to verbalize. And so I brought my friends over, and 5 of us stood there and gave this ghost Reiki for 20 minutes.
Wow.
And it calmed down and was able to talk to us. And it turned out to
cool.
be, story breaks my heart. 5-year-old girl who had been tortured to death
Oh my god.
there in the Prohibition with all this stuff and all this other stuff happening. But we were able to get her to calm down enough to talk to us with the Reiki, and with the Reiki helped her pass on. And it was such a tremendous opportunity, or experience for me. We just kind of were going by the
Just
seat of
got
our
the
pants. I've never
goosies.
done that before. Yeah, but that's been my process ever
Oh,
since.
Yeah,
Basically.
I think that's how a lot of us.
You know, it kind of
Get there.
reminded me of the snake house when she said that,
Yeah.
of how you were involved in that and
We'll
how,
explain
yeah,
about the
the
snake
snake
house.
house. That's a
Snake
really
house?
good
Each
story.
one of our
Wow.
investigations.
We named
has-
them.
has a weird
Yeah.
name of some sort.
Yeah.
So-
Well, we don't divulge, you know, information
No.
about the people or their names or anything. So give them.
I'm gonna try and bring the folks on the Zoom call
Okay.
into what's happening. Go ahead, Donna. I'm sorry I interrupted
Pardon?
you.
What's a Reiki?
Reiki?
It's Reiki. It's,
Reiki.
it's an energy healing modality. It's a Japanese method, but it's, you know, it's energy.
It's
Healing.
5,000 years old.
It's the movement of energy,
It's
correct?
right.
It's what
Yeah.
Jesus did, basically. That's how I describe it. When he laid on his hands and healed people.
It is.
That is what we do.
It's
That's what we
like
do
it-
over here.
Yes, this is what we learned is the Japanese method, but energy healing in the world since the world had people.
Sorry, connected.
Not, absolutely not.
No, some
Even-
people could think that maybe it's, you know,
That's
and
right.
it's not.
Even dinosaurs.
Well, so anyway, that's my story. So invite any questions and
Yeah, and we'll each have an
If not-
opportunity to tell our stories too. I would just like Ken and Donna to do their presentation and then, you know, we can all.
chime in.
So,
Do I sit, stand?
Go ahead, Ken, you've got the floor.
yeah,
You got the floor.
I'm right here behind
Giving me
you.
a fresh, okay,
I'll fill in the blanks for you.
okay. Get up.
oh, you wanna,
No.
because, you know, I'm used to being relegated to sitting next to Donna.
Yeah.
Can you guys see
Yeah.
him?
They put us in a corner.
Okay, my name's Ken Arnold, my wife Donna. We own the Puget Sound Ghost Hunters. And to give you kind of a background history of myself experiencing the paranormal, we moved in this house back in '68. And we discovered that there was a male ghost, you know, in the house. You turn on the tub, the sink, water, open up the fridge, close the fridge door, downstairs, nobody be down there. We had a pool table and you hear the balls hit. We run down there and the pool stick is laying on the table, moving like this roll, you know.
Wow.
And then my mom started doing some history and found out that the gentleman who died in the house named George. So every time we experienced something, we say, "Hi, George, how you doing?" And the more we did that, the less things, and he moved on. So that caught my interest in the paranormal. And so Don and I went to a Halloween party, and one of the girls there started, she developed,
Puget Sound Ghost.
yeah, she
Yeah.
just started it. And I'm, whoa, I gotta join it. Okay. And so a month later, Donna joined. And then about 3 years later, Stephanie went to a different direction and we took the team over. And so we've done a little over 500 cases. We've been on radio,
goes.
we've been on radio, we've been on TV. And,
Fantastic.
It's been
and
about
that's it.
13 years.
And some of
Yeah.
the cases we've been on, the murder house, which I mentioned earlier. The gentleman contacted me that he had some strange stuff going on in this house. And it was right by an Indian cemetery. So he gave us the history of the house. Back in 1925, the male that owned the house, along with his wife, was murdered
Wow.
Okay. Well, long story short, like I said, talk half hour on this case. So we got the victim's name. So we were sitting there in the living room, and everybody's sitting on chairs, and we contacted the victim. And oh yeah, back in when the police investigated, they thought it was his sister that murdered him, but could not prove it.
Oh.
So we contacted the victim. I can't remember his name.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah. Anyway, I asked if he was murdered, suicide, whatever. He said I was murdered. By who? May. May was his wife.
Wow.
And how were you making the contact with the spirit? Was this with the psychic, or did you have a ghost box, or?
So I have the SB11. It's like two spirit boxes in one.
Okay. Oh, those are the good ones.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, he got tired of my question.
And Donna is a psychic.
Yeah,
Donna is a psychic, so.
Yeah.
Wow.
She gets a lot of messages.
I get a lot of names and background information when I'm on an
So-
investigation.
So we're all sitting there, and he said something to me, and I couldn't understand it. And I said, "What'd you say to me?" And all of a sudden, right rear leg of the chair pulled like this. The chair tilted to the left,
Ow.
and the leg of the chair burst. I mean, we found pieces 30 feet away from where I was sitting.
Well.
And I hit that floor, and I'm only that high above the floor. I hit that floor so hard that I thought I broke my arm.
And the recording is on our
Yeah.
page.
Oh,
We got
wow.
an audio.
You gotta, oh,
Yeah.
We didn't get a,
just
we
no
didn't have a
video,
camera.
but audio.
Yeah.
That's
Well, the difference,
awesome.
I'm sitting here, the camera is right behind me, facing the front door.
There we go.
Right.
So I hit the floor, and I'm on my hands and knees, just starting to sweat, you know, and the whole story came to my mind. It was like he was telling me what happened, exactly what happened, and so anyway, I had to get out of the house. It really scared me. It's probably the most I've ever been scared.
Wow.
So
And Ken doesn't scare easy at
No.
all.
no. So we've been back twice. Because the first time is when that chair happened, and I swear I would never go back. About a year later, I decided to go back, and nothing really happened. You were on the second one.
Yeah, and Isabella, my daughter, and I
Mhm.
had to leave. Remember, the
Mhm.
house made us sick. It made
Yeah.
us physically ill, and we had to leave. And she had a migraine for a week after that. Wow.
What
And
the?
so another one is that we went to Montana to the
I missed that.
The prison.
yeah, to the
The brothel?
what?
The brothel?
No, well, we went to the prison, Deer Lodge prison. And the next day, we went to the brothel in Dumas, which was my favorite thing. That was fun. But I can't, since there's a young one here, I can't say
No.
what we caught on audio.
No.
So,
We can't say a lot of what we've caught on audio.
Yeah.
yeah, and
Yeah.
there was,
I've been called all sorts of things.
Oh boy, have you?
yeah.
Wow.
Target.
Yeah. So, anyway, we went there. Donna had a really bad experience there. You want to explain what happened?
Well, there was an inmate, and I'll try to be careful with my wording. There was an inmate there that had been called what did they call him? Max.
Max.
Because he was in maximum security.
And he
And
was like the top prisoner.
He actually slaughtered an entire family.
Wow.
And he was just a really, really bad, evil person. And I went into that cell thinking, I'll just, it's nothing. So I go into that cell and I'm talking to him and I connected with him. And he basically took over. But not until I got to bed that night. And then it was like early in the morning.
Ooh, so he followed you home.
Yes.
Ooh.
He was a hitchhiker. And he basically took over. I woke up about 5 o'clock in the morning and my son and my husband were there and they said that my face had kind of morphed into this really wicked looking man.
Yeah, what I could, yeah,
It was awful.
It was our son woke me up saying something's wrong with mom.
Yeah, there's
And I go, what? And I jumped up and she's sitting on the edge of the bed.
And you didn't grab the camera?
I know, yeah.
And her hair was down like this, but she's looking up at me, going down, like
It
that.
was awful.
So we're backing up, and all of a sudden her face started turning into a man. And I'm backing up, and both my son and I go, what the? He goes, that's not mom. And we're backing up.
You were scaring them.
Yeah.
So next door was the girls that did the Reiki stuff. They came over and worked on Donna for 2.5 hours.
And I was exhausted. I slept for 2 days.
So then you
Wow.
walk through the chapel and with your cane and then somebody knocked. the
Yeah, we went to the chapel and I had my cane up like this and I was just standing there and there was a guy in there, Pete. There was
Yeah,
a guy named Pete. And they said, if you sit in his chair, he's not going to like it. Well, I got to go sit in the chair. So I went and sat in the chair and then I got up and I said, see, I'm fine. And just as I said that, the cane went out from underneath me and went flying across the room. So I guess he didn't like it. So
So
yeah.
the next day, we decided to go investigate the cemetery. And Donna stayed home or stayed back at the hotel. She just slept all day. So I was with like 5 other girls in this van, driving up in this mountain. And here's this old cemetery. And our son was with me too. And after we looked around and stuff, we walked right back to the van, and the van's always been in our sight. We were the only ones there. And so we were walking back to the van on the passenger window, sketched in the window said women. That was weird. Okay. So we're coming back down the mountain. And here's this beautiful grassy old area. 2 rivers coming in together. And Stephanie said, this is a great spot. Okay. I didn't know what she was talking about. Go back a few months earlier in October, we went to Montana in May. This is back in October, we were at, what's that? Whidbey Island.
Oh, the Woodby Island
Where we
houses.
rented the doctor's house.
For
Fort Casey.
Yeah.
Fort Casey. Anyway, we had this one girl with us, and we were outside walking through some type of like woods, and she just got punched in the stomach and bit over. She got hit. Really. In fact, it created a bruise on her stomach. So I grabbed her and ran her out of the woods. Okay. Now, fast forward to May. So we get to this grassy area, and then I wasn't a believer in Reiki at all. I thought it was a joke. Okay. So we all piled out, and Stephanie told Kenny, her son, he wanted to do Reiki. And they go, okay, you're done. Stephanie points at me, says, you come here. Okay, okay, I'll play it. Well, they noticed that in October, and between October and May, my personality was getting really negative. Okay, and just
Ow.
yeah.
Yeah.
So they wanted to do Reiki on me. 2 girls in front of me, 2 in the back. So I'm standing there, and all of a sudden I got this feeling like, whoa. You know? and so I closed my eyes and it was really white. And then I closed my eyes again and it was white. I mean, it was I've never seen white like that.
Flashing light or?
No, it was solid.
Solid.
So I'm sitting there, whoa, you know, and I'm getting all these weird feelings. And then one of the girls said, let's work in his kidney area. Okay. So they started working my kidney area. And all of a sudden I felt this thing being pulled out of my back.
Oh.
And I lost my balance. Stephanie caught me. I went, whoa, you know, and I was like, what was that? You know. And then when they were done, it felt like a whole bunch of Percocets. I was so, oh, this is great, you know. And when that happened, and we didn't have a recorder, when that happened, okay, we were the only ones in the woods. Right behind us, we heard a woman's voice. And we don't know what she said. We don't know who it was, but it was right behind us. And so that was a great experience on that. And another one was
The snake house.
Snake House. Okay, this house was in shambles. And the owner's son had a daughter that lived there. And he had 2 boa snakes. And they got loose.
He went to jail.
Mhm.
He was in jail
Oh, and the snakes got out.
when the snakes got loose.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was the day that he got out of jail that the incident.
Okay.
Wow.
So there wasn't it part of the house didn't have power or something. I can remember it was always dark, cold.
Yeah, that house was one of those where it started out like this and then they built over here and then they built over there and then they, you know, it was like cobbled together into this.
And there was no power.
And there was no power.
And
Yeah.
there was rats throughout. I went to go to the bathroom. A rat was coming out of it.
Oh, we caught so
Yeah.
many rats on camera, but you know, he was raising the rats for his snakes.
I think so, yeah.
And
Feeding them.
so
And then if he wasn't there.
Yeah,
they just took over
Yeah.
the house.
they did.
It's good
So-
snake food.
Yeah,
Yes.
apparently.
So we're okay. The son died with accidental overdose.
He
So
was
we
only
were-
like 19.
Yeah,
Wow.
and he had I don't remember how old his daughter was.
3.
Okay. And we were at his bed where he died. And we're talking to him. And then
His,
you came
his
up.
mother had contacted us because she and her son had had a really negative conversation the day he died. And she felt horrible that that was the last conversation they had. She needed to feel contact.
Hey guys, the sound is turned.
It certainly seems like it, doesn't it?
What's that?
Didn't hear you.
The sound is terrible.
The cooler. Phone being next to the cooler. It's
Oh,
you better.
thank you for letting us know. Yeah. Is this better? This position?
We can hear you. Can you set the phone someplace stable?
Yeah, how's that?
we're getting vertigo and sick to our stomachs because
Oh,
it's on the ground.
Okay.
Yeah, here,
Thank you.
sorry about that.
Okay.
Let me switch the video. Come here. There we
Okay.
go.
So what we did was came in and tried to contact this woman's son. And when we were there, I kept getting the name Squish or
Squishy.
Squishy, and I didn't know what it was. I didn't know if it was a name or whatever. Turns out I asked if anybody knew what Squishy meant. Well, apparently that was a nickname that the dad had given the daughter. So that let us know that he was there and he could hear us, and he was trying to tell us, that he was there, because I didn't know that anything about Squishy. So we were able to contact him, and Leah, actually, you did like a ceremony.
I did last
It was,
rites
it
for
was
you.
Yeah,
the second
last
time we
rites.
went back.
We went back again,
We
and
could
then
show them the evidence we got.
yeah, and
Yeah.
Leah did a last rites ceremony for the entire family. They were all there because they didn't get closure, and so that
So when she was doing her thing, or right after we were done, you can feel them moving on.
Well, he-
Everybody felt the same thing.
He went around the circle and touched every single person individually. We all,
Yeah.
and he did it very slowly and deliberately. Thank you.
And the
Yeah,
people
he
were
was amazing.
emotional,
Oh,
crying.
we all were.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But the mother, at least she got closure, and she
Yeah.
felt like she got to speak to him for one last time that wasn't, in a negative way.
Right.
And she knew that it was an accident.
It was an
and
accident. He said very specifically, it was an accident.
and it was just gut wrenching. But it felt good that we were able to help the mom at least get some closure.
Right,
And
right.
yeah.
That one is so
That one
close to
stuck
my
with me.
heart. That one
Mhm.
is so close to my heart.
Well, that was probably the best one for emotion,
Yeah.
Mhm.
you know?
And you could feel it.
Yeah.
So we got so many
I know.
cases. We did, you guys listen to the radio station 92.5? They play modern music,
Yeah.
today's music.
Yeah.
Well, Jose is one of the DJs, and we got invited to do his
It was
apartment.
Brook and Jubal, right?
Yeah,
It
the
was
adult,
broken,
yeah.
even 92.5 or something.
Yeah.
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 So we did his apartment, which used to be a hotel.
And Isabella moved into that building
Yeah.
and saw the man that was in his
Oh
apartment
gosh.
on a
Oh.
regular basis.
Yeah.
And so we're
Wow.
sitting there on his bed, asking, questions and that. And remember the bedroom door, he said the door would open, like
Yeah.
somebody walking in. He had it shut. Door not.
That was just the three of us.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we did that. And another one, poor Casey, I got the door
wow.
slammed on.
Poor
And
Casey, every time we go there, something happens.
yeah, it's like you and Kenny were sitting in the living room in the doctor's house, like 6 a.m. or something.
Yeah, we stayed up all night.
And we hear the boots.
It was early in the morning. It's like 5 o'clock. Whenever the people get up that are in the service, usually it was
Yeah,
like
yeah.
5.
And
I wanna
speaking
say.
of boots,
Yeah, because they have muster at 7.
Yeah.
speaking of boots, we've done the Walker Ames Mansion in Port Gamble like 15 times.
Yeah.
And
Raise your hand if you've
Yeah.
ever been there. and heard about that
So-
place.
Oh.
so
We gotta change that.
I'm gonna try to get a hold of Pete and go there next month. And now, we decided one time to dress up in period clothing,
That was fun.
okay?
That was fun.
We were in the formal dining room, I think it was formal or uninformal. So one of the members started ad-libbing and asked me how the lumber mill was doing. The lumber mill used to be way down by the water behind the house.
Yeah.
So I started improvising, saying things are happening where, you know, we're losing money and all this other stuff. And just really bad things going on. Upstairs, the master bedroom, heard the door go boom, 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 boom. Like old man Walker is mad. And these boots, so we're looking at the staircase, waiting to see him come down. We didn't see anybody.
There is a growler also in the
Yeah.
house.
Oh, in the one in the basement?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just want to acknowledge, do you guys feel that those bangings? Is everybody feeling? There's nobody else in
Yeah,
this
we've
building
been
right
yeah.
now.
feeling.
There's nobody else in this building.
Oh, wow.
This is associated with what's
Huh.
happening here. All the businesses downstairs are closed.
Oh, wow.
That banging that you are feeling right now
Uh-huh.
is paranormal activity,
Okay,
okay?
Wow.
But you're safe in this space, you're protected.
okay. We did another house, I think it was in Bonnie Lake, who lived in the house used to be devil worshippers.
Oh.
Oh, that place. Oh,
Yeah,
I bet that was.
now,
oh.
we had cameras, there's a detached garage, and you walk in there, and here's all these drawings, paintings, and devils and stuff, you know? So, we had a table outside, DVR cameras are inside the garage. Stephanie and Donna went inside the garage, closed the door. And we're sitting right outside the door. All of a sudden, boom, man, against the door. She got slammed against the door. No, you asked the question.
Yeah, apparently the spirit didn't like, or whatever it was, didn't like women at all. And so if you spoke up as a woman, you get slammed. And her and I both got slammed against the
Yeah,
garage
well,
door.
She got cut, scratched, and there's a picture of it on the website. And Stephanie got a bite mark on her right cheek.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Hit her on her butt.
Yep.
Wow.
So if you guys want to
Human
Bring up-
spirits are the nasty, can be the nastiest.
We don't
things.
have a picture of.
go to evidence folder.
No,
I'd
no.
much rather work with the fairies.
Yeah, yeah.
Seriously.
Wait for it to load up.
Use the communication device to speak with the spirit. Isn't that like one of
Oh, that's
those in the movie that takes?
Okay.
Oh, like a recording device?
Like the ghost
Right,
box.
yeah.
Yeah. We should have brought one with us, darn it.
It's loading now.
That noise, yes.
Next
It's
year.
just slow.
Have you also
And
talked to
then,
spirits and it's like a thought that comes into your head,
Yeah.
like them saying
Oh,
something?
scratch it.
Yeah.
And that's how I get
Yeah.
names.
This is,
That's,
can you make it
Yeah.
bigger? I don't know.
Yeah, because I get those, but, and I like.
Well,
I
then
know
you
that
have
it's not
psychic
my-
abilities.
Yeah.
I think almost anyone can if they know what to do with them. I think a lot of people get them and they just don't know it. You know what I mean? I think they don't acknowledge it, or they think, where'd that come from, and move on, you know?
Yeah. Just learning to trust what you're hearing.
Yeah.
Write-
Oh,
write
sure,
it
sure.
down.
And feeling.
Okay.
Yeah.
She, Donna, her leg was burning.
Guys.
Wow.
Oh, they can't see.
You have to hold it.
Yeah, can we turn the phone so that we can see like the whole room maybe? And that way we don't have to move it when people
Yeah, I'll
talk.
paste the link up in the chat.
Yeah, that's a scratch Donna got. I don't know if you guys can see that or not.
Yeah. because
Can you guys on the
Donna-
call see that?
Yeah, Donna, I think they were.
So,
So slow down.
and she's been scratched 5 or 6 times.
Wow.
And it's always an upside down feet.
Yeah. And a lot of times, like one time when we were doing the period clothing, I had like stockings on. And what was weird is the stockings didn't get touched, but it was underneath. And we couldn't figure out how the heck does that happen? And it was burning.
Mhm,
Yeah, it was
Oh,
scary.
right.
And this, I was that,
mhm.
like, ouch, very icy.
That's
So-
And so is that the one that didn't do get your stockings, or was that a different?
Oh, that was a different one, because that was in the summer. I
Yeah,
had
in
shorts
the
on.
attic,
Funny
at
how
Wa-
that can happen.
Yeah, I
in
know.
the attic at
really
Walker
odd.
James,
Oh, yeah.
she had black nylons on.
Yeah.
She got scratched again, same
That's-
thing, upside down V. we were in the theater upstairs, and she got scratched up that upside down V again on her forearm.
My goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really weird.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I haven't seen that before.
I know.
I've seen
Okay, we
people
always-
like with bruises.
Oh,
with
yeah.
Different
Yeah.
shapes.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen a scratch like
Oh,
that.
no,
Yeah.
it's
Oh.
extreme.
now I got a hold of, you guys remember the TV show Ghost Hunters, right?
Yeah.
The early days of Ghost Hunters, they had the two brothers that were demonologists,
Yeah.
Carl and, anyway, I got a hold of Carl.
Oh,
Talked to him on the phone, sent him the picture of that, and said, hey, this is a pattern here. You know, why she gets scratched with the upside down V. He thinks that was in Latin, meaning legion,
Yeah,
you know?
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, God, what else do
Do we have any other really good evidence on there that, oh, there's the one with
I
the
guess-
spirit developing on my lap. That was fun.
Oh.
I don't have it
You don't have that on there?
on my phone. I don't know. It's on my phone.
And I felt the floor vibrate and I said, are we having an earthquake here? And nobody else felt anything. And so our son turned his camera around really quick, thank God, and caught the spirit developing in my lap. I mean, it's amazing. Are you sure we don't have it on there?
Actually a beautiful photo.
It is. It's a really nice photo.
The energy is
Yeah.
gorgeous.
It's great. But I could
But-
feel it coming up my body like this.
Wow.
It's,
Yeah, you can see it. It was basically a skeleton
yeah,
You can see
skeleton, you can
that.
see the,
and the spine.
Yeah.
the leg,
it was cool.
and his arm hand was touching her leg. She's got a titanium rod in her leg.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know if
Use
that,
through energy,
Oh.
I don't know.
I never thought of
and
Yeah.
her whole
it. Like
hand,
a lightning.
her
I have
leg.
titanium in my foot.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
her hands and legs all was glowing orange.
It's a really cool photo. I wish you had it.
Yeah, we have it. I
I
could.
thought it was on our website.
So I did
that's
too. I
interesting.
thought it was.
Yeah, it looks really awesome.
Now, we caught the Holy Grail,
Oh,
and I've had a lot of people who does the paranormal circuit through the United States. And they said this is the best apparition video that they've ever seen.
Wow.
We were
Is it
at,
on the website?
I think, oh, see to the left, if you, that picture with the red right there? I think
No,
that's
yeah,
the
let it-
picture.
yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
Let it,
that's it.
yeah,
Let
it's
it
just,
download.
Yeah,
Still
that's the
loading.
one. It's really a pretty picture. Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
so we did. What's the name of that restaurant?
Oh, Spunky Monkey.
Spunky Monkey
In
Bar and
Auburn.
Grill in Auburn. And the cooks were complaining that they believe there was a young girl in the kitchen was downstairs knocking over bottles of wine. Okay, so I set my camera up, put a bottle of wine in front of it. Okay, we'll go upstairs. And this place used to be a church.
A Lutheran
A
church.
Lutheran church.
Yeah.
And then when they decided to close up and move down the street, it became a massage parlor where Leah used to work. So,
Thanks,
uh,
man. That's funny.
so, and then it became this Spunky Monkey Bar and Grill. Really good fish and chips. So, we were upstairs.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So one day I decided to sit at my desk and look at the video.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
What happened?
Something happened.
The battery.
The battery's
went out.
low.
Uh-oh. Is it not
There's a
plugged in?
charger right there.
Oh, shoot.
It can be.
Do we need to move this?
Yeah.
Just a tiny bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
there we go.
Oops.
Come on,
I hate when
baby.
that happens.
You continue though, it's fine. It's got video again. Let's see what I'm doing.
Might have to take it out of the stand.
Yeah, but that won't reach.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah.
Oops.
Feel that banging?
Yeah, I do.
What-
I did.
Building banging
I-
here.
Yeah, no, not
No,
pipes.
this building's quiet.
Oh,
Quiet.
Mm-mm.
We never hear
We
any.
have company,
We totally do.
so
yeah.
Yeah, the demons don't like that.
I don't think this is the right kind
Well,
of,
we don't like
They
them
hear.
either. It
We're in
won't
a protected.
not the
So
right
we-
kind.
So I decided to sit at my desk and go through the video. It's in there, it gets really boring. Man, also.
I know. Switch to the laptop.
And the wall
Silly thing.
there was a wall with boards with slats, you know, in a hallway.
There we go.
And there's this little black thing. that's shooting back and forth, back and forth. And okay, that's cool. It caught something. And then a little bit later, almost at the end of the video, whoa! There was this woman in a Sunday dress, hat type of thing, carrying something, Yeah,
Either a
first-
casserole dish or something. We're not sure what
Yeah.
it was.
walking down the hall. And
Whoa.
Rick, before this happened, he was in the video, but you can see how the hall was. You can see it through the wooden slats of the wall. And so you can kind of determine, okay, this is what it's like with a real human involved. Anyway, I have that video. You guys can watch it in a bit.
Hang on just a second. Let me switch so that we're gonna be on the laptop instead of the phone. Here we go.
But then you can't watch the video, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, and she can
Right.
share the screen. on
Hey, Sheri, did you mean to turn off the audio? We can't hear you, Sheri.
Side of your phone.
I got it. Yep.
Sorry about that.
Thank you. Yeah, we're trying to switch from the phone to the laptop because the phone's dying. So we're going to take a 2-minute intermission. We'll be right back while I switch. Feel free to grab something to drink or hit the potty.
bathroom break. Welcome if you got 'em.
And,
Hey, Sheri, I have a question. Hey, Sheri, I have a question. No, I can't hear you. I can just read your lips though. Nope, can't hear you. You might have to turn your volume up, or you may have to disconnect. If you had earphones or anything in it, you might have to disconnect that. No? It could also be Zoom. When was the last time you updated your browser settings and your Zoom settings? Have you checked your volume settings, Sheri? Also your input output settings.
I think we're back. Yay.
Are we back?
Can you guys hear us on the call?
Yes, yay.
And there's the picture we were trying to bring up. You just posted
And the picture I'm trying to bring up is what?
that picture from our.
Oh, from
one
the
of
website.
Spirit developing. On my
Okay, let me work on that while I switch this back to being on the folder.
You got scratched.
I got scratched. Uh-oh. Is it a bee?
Yeah. No, it's just a little scratch. It's a little line. I
Uh-oh.
didn't even feel it or.
Okay, Donna, it's on you.
Oh.
You're live.
Did we lose them? Well, we can just keep the party going. Ah, they're back.
There you go.
Is she here?
Yeah.
Is that what that is?
Oops.
I don't know.
This is the picture.
It's not gonna stay on here though. It's not stable.
Oh,
Yeah.
come on, baby.
We have to un.
So the picture,
Is that what she?
Uh-oh.
okay.
I don't know. It's too heavy, maybe.
Could we have more problems? Let's not ask that. I know, I'll hold it.
Oh, gosh.
So for those on the call, we're looking at that same page that I put on in the chat. Ooh, here I am. It's the same page as the first picture at the very top. I forget do you remember what the caption was?
Oh, I don't.
Oops, squared.
It's a picture of a spirit developing in my lap. That one?
Yeah.
Can
Hey,
you
Ken,
show the
what's
camera?
Ken?
Camera?
What's the
Can you
caption
show-
on that picture? Or can you show it on
What's the caption on that picture?
so they know? It's the very first one at the top of the page.
Copper aura.
Looks like something.
Can you
Copper.
show the camera that picture? So they know what you're looking at?
There we go. Can you guys see that?
Copper aura. I guess
It
you-
says copper and something.
aura.
You could go on our website.
Yeah, I did. I gave them a link. I was just
Oh,
trying to
okay.
tell them
Okay,
which
yeah.
picture, because that's like a lot of pictures on
Yeah,
that one
I know.
page.
Oh, sorry. The picture was- Oh, wow. Look at that. Oh, isn't it beautiful?
Yes, I think it's gorgeous.
It's really good.
A lot of people are like, what?
Oh, yeah.
What is it again? That picture is a spirit developing on my lap.
Thank
You
you.
can see the energy. Oh, not there. You can see the energy in
Yeah,
the
that's what I'm
picture.
saying. That's
The
the
spinal cord.
leg. Look at that scratch.
Oh,
let me
wow.
see.
When did that happen?
While I was outside and we heard the voice of a little girl
Uh-huh.
and another bang and then.
Oh, just now?
Yeah.
Oh.
We were on
It's
our
not
break.
me.
Yeah.
I don't know. The
Can't keep
demons
it going
don't
off.
like it.
Oh,
Care for a smudge.
That's Princess's
No.
daughter.
Care for a smudge?
Those things.
Now, if you guys would like to see the video from the restaurant,
Sure.
It's just a little.
Is it on the same page?
Donna, so that.
That one right there.
That one right there. Okay, can you guys on the call see this? On the, just below that picture, whoops.
Yes.
And
Just
this
below the
is
picture, we
Spunky
were looking at
Monkey
it,
Girl?
but this, yeah, this video. Yeah. All right, Mr. Mouse. Cooperate. There we go.
it's probably best for them to go.
Oh, an air.
Dang it. The network sucks.
Yeah. Lost connection.
Yeah. I did. I'm dead. Oh, well, no video. Can you guys on the call see the video on that link? No. They don't say anything.
We're answering you in the chat, Sheri.
Nope.
I was thinking about that. I was telling Kat about cooperating.
Mhm.
Can you see that? Maybe if you pull, do you have your phone?
Yeah, I
Maybe if
turned
you
it
pull
off.
up the website on your phone.
I turned it off because
Oh
I didn't
my
want to bother
goodness.
everybody with my stuff.
Well, so tell us the story though, of what this video is about.
Oh, I told you about the bar and grill.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the first part of it is where you see a little girl with black that goes back and forth really fast.
Oh, wow.
And then towards the end of the video is the woman walking down the hall.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Wow.
It's probably best if they pull it up because then they can see it really well on there.
Yeah.
But most of our
Yeah.
investigations are really boring.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
99% of our cases,
Yeah.
but that 1%.
Yep. That's what keeps
Yeah.
you going back.
Right.
Yeah,
That is true.
But we do a lot of debunking
yeah.
because, we don't want to give them false information and say, oh,
No.
yeah, that's a spirit
That
when
is
it's a
not-
pipe or
yeah.
something, So we
Right.
always do as much debunking as we can.
Now, you can play, I already asked her daughters, she said, no problem.
Okay.
Oh,
The audio of the
Oh.
exploding chair.
oh no. Can you in my
Already
potty
asked
mouth?
her.
Oh,
She's
gosh.
good. She's good. She hears lots of music.
That is so
This
embarrassing.
laptop's network connection is
You know
dead.
what?
So she's
You
trying
were
to bring it up on her
startled,
phone.
And your husband was laying on the floor,
Yeah.
so it's forgivable, okay?
Ah, so embarrassing.
But I had 2 cameras in the basement of that house where the chair exploded. I was so scared that I told the other girls, go down the basement, get my camera, we're done.
Yeah.
I couldn't
Got
go
it?
back in the house.
Yeah, I got the page, but
But I
I
was
wouldn't
telling them,
either.
when the girls were doing the Reiki and pulling out, that was an attachment that I caught.
Yeah, they were doing psychic surgery on you.
Yeah,
Okay, there it
Yeah.
is.
but that's a light.
Cool.
That's pretty much what it is.
you know. And it's funny. because
Oh, wow.
they-
You guys wanna see the video?
That's where
Check it out.
anger
Come here.
is.
Come look at it on her. Oh, oops.
Yeah.
That's where anger is stored.
Can't make it any bigger, I don't think.
So.
Yeah, turn it sideways.
I don't know. It's pretty small.
Or you can turn the phone
Oh,
sideways
shoot.
and it'll-
Yeah.
Dang it. Look what happened.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
Ah.
We don't care about you.
No, it's good.
Dang
You're
it.
gonna press this.
Oh, no. Okay. Okay.
And then you can turn your phone sideways and it'll
Sideways.
get bigger.
I think she got that lock.
Oh, the other way, on the right. Yeah, there you go. Oh, perfect.
Okay.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, you have.
There you go. See, I need help.
Yeah. That's okay. You got it.
You guys are located in Auburn? Yes. we can
Well,
show
this
them.
was in Auburn.
You know,
And-
a lot of
and-
the activity that we have investigated has been in Puyallup and Tacoma.
Really?
And that's where, out in the foothills is where the Indian wars and
See, watch that right there.
So a lot of what we run into are elementals and
Okay, so that's
Native
Rick.
American.
He's trying to show you what a person looks like walking through there. And then you'll see an apparition. See that?
Yeah.
Right there. That's through the
That's like a
little,
shadow.
that's through the slots. Yeah, you can see the little,
Oh, wow.
the arrow
When
showing
I
you. And we think that was the little
came
girl running back and
upstairs,
forth.
I don't see it.
Yeah, because it's so
Kinda
short.
wash over
Yeah.
you and then disappear. But I
Shadows?
just- Oh, I did that. I did
Yeah, I don't
that
know.
mediumship reading yesterday.
yeah.
for that
Real
guy
person.
There's the
that
apparition.
passed, that was Gemstone.
It's a white figure.
And-
You see that white
Yeah,
figure?
so-
Yeah, that was an apparition. That wasn't us.
Okay.
Yeah. That's pretty cool, huh? There it is. Yeah, I know. Isn't that cool? Oh,
And then when you did, they have to get really.
yeah, they have the link. I don't know how to do it, you guys. Okay, you can do it. Okay. Got it?
He has it playing.
Yeah.
Oh.
Put it towards the.
Put it towards the phone so they can see it. Well, that this is gonna stay.
Can you see it? I think she sent the link.
Yeah, she did. This isn't gonna stay up, you guys. This isn't gonna stay up. If I move my hand, it's gonna crash.
Did you guys on the call see the video? Oh, it crashed.
No, if I move my hand, it's gonna fall. It's gonna fall.
Darn it. I'll hold it, I'll hold it.
Well, it's just so heavy, I think,
Oh.
that it wants to.
It was working before.
I don't know.
I think it's being obnoxious. Did you guys on the call see the, oops, see the video on the website?
Yeah, Sheri, we're on your website now
Oh,
watching
gosh,
it
darn it.
along too.
Come back. There we go. Oh, somebody's got their hand raised. Go ahead and call out if you have questions, because we're not really watching the chat.
Yeah, I had a question before you had the technical snafu during your little intermission. The question that we had earlier in the evening was, how do you protect yourself? That's what we would like to know.
Oh, great
Reiki
question.
bubble.
Yeah.
That's how I do it.
Yeah,
So can you explain how you do it?
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
So you raise energy, and there's a million ways to do that. My favorite way is to visualize your tailbone, your root chakra, connecting down to the earth with a string, and then bringing energy up from the earth up into your tailbone, energizing that into a ball of green light, and then feeling that ball come up to the rest of your body and expand outward. And so you're inside a green bubble that of earth energy. And when you start it from inside and work it out, I feel like it's more connected to you and less, there's almost nothing from the outside coming
Right.
in. You can also visualize a white bubble that's, the way I usually tell people to do it is about a foot away from your whole body, like you're standing in a big white egg. And that's a great way to keep anything that's physically around you away from you. But when you do the green bubble from inside out, it's a great way to cleanse anything that you've got inside you, because it pushes anything that's in you out.
Use
away
paper
from
towels
you.
for this?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Do what?
No, he's being a smart.
It's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is the audio when I asked permission. She said school. Okay. When Donna, the second time she asked me if I was okay,
Oops.
I caught an EVP of the victim saying, "I'll hurt him." Well, she's talking, but on here you can't. You can hear it with headphones.
Okay.
But I asked the question, how old was May when she died or something like that? This is what we caught. You know the chair exploded, right?
Yeah.
Wow. Can you bring it closer to the Zoom?
I couldn't talk.
Can
What?
you bring it closer to the Zoom?
Okay, I'll play it again.
Right. Can you guys hear it on the call?
Can they hear us?
Yep. Okay, everybody pay
Yeah.
attention.
No, lost. What?
Uh-oh.
Oh, while he's doing that, just to close off on the other question about being protected, I wanted to add one other thought, and that is, if you are in a place inside yourself full of fear or anger or pain, you are more vulnerable to attack than if you are in a place of calm, peace, and I mean, if you can stand it, happiness, joy, positive feelings, because for one thing, it's if you are feeling all those negative things, fear, anger, pain, you are going to allow that energy to be attracted to you, and it'll kind of double that.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That's a great tool for them to attach on. And
Yep,
Yeah.
yep. Because negative spirits feed off of that energy,
Yeah.
and you're tasty to them when you're feeling that way. If you're feeling calm and centered and joyful, you aren't as tasty to the negative spirits. In fact, they are very repelled by that.
Yeah.
And so if you're in a place where there is negativity around, and that can be negative living people too, like an office place,
Yeah.
if you've ever been in an office place
Yeah.
situation or in a retail store where people are really negative or snippy or, backstabbing, when you're positive, you repel them.
Yeah.
They don't want anything to do with you, right? But if you're negative, if you're feeling afraid, you're making yourself a target to them, right? If
We've
you,
had clients that actually, they have really bad anxiety. And Leah, you've had to work with them.
Yeah.
And we had a child once that was autistic, I believe, and got really bad anxiety.
oh,
And this child was being targeted, I mean, picked on constantly. And so we had to work with them to get him to be,
There was
more-
something in his
Yeah.
closet.
yeah.
Go after the weakest family member, fill up
Yeah.
highways.
And unfortunately, sometimes that's kids,
right,
Yeah.
right.
You want me to play the audio to
Sure.
these
You
guys?
ready? Okay.
Okay. Now this audio from the exploding chair. I don't know if you can.
You can hear it. It's loud.
I'm done. Yeah.
Wow.
That was the house that made you sick.
Wow.
But what's really interesting about that audio?
Yeah.
What was I gonna say?
I don't know. You said it was really interesting, so we're waiting.
Which,
Interesting thing about your audio.
oh, the audio. I put the audio clip into Audacity. And Audacity showed me their, the energy went straight up on the graph.
Yeah.
You see the energy going,
spiked.
increasing,
Yeah.
increasing, and then all of a sudden, bam.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
But I want to go back.
I
I have to.
You
Do it
have to
again.
go back.
No,
to those
well,
sites?
he rips the house out.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
last year I talked to the client and he said, well, they just signed another 2-year lease. But as soon as they move out,
Bothering
the
them.
I wanna
client's
go.
gonna get a hold of us.
I'm gonna go.
Yeah, but Ken's the target because he had it figured out. And he's the one that was asking the questions.
About the murder.
And he was
And-
getting upset with the questions.
Yeah, it was.
I asked
heavier
some
and
questions
heavier.
without provoking, but stern.
We don't provoke. That is a
No,
huge,
we don't provoke.
yeah, we never ever provoke.
Well, we don't, right, kids? But the people on TV do. It makes me
Oh,
so
no, we would
ill.
never.
When I did
That's
the
really
floor,
disrespectful.
like I said, the
That
story
guy,
came to
Ghost
mind.
Adventurers.
Oh,
Exactly.
Jack.
God, ooh, very disrespectful.
it is.
Okay,
What?
and he went to sleep. She went out of town, he thought, but she was in the hidden bedroom. So she waited for him to go to sleep and she got a cloth with ether. It smothered her with ether.
Yeah, that's sad.
And her mother, it was her mother who was the,
Her aunt,
her aunt, that's right. Her aunt was,
Ida or something like that. She
Ida,
was a very well-known politician.
in Washington State.
First legislature.
Yeah, first female legislator.
Well, why did they want him dead? For the
Um,
money
he
or what?
was not.
Hey, Ken, can you turn around? Because you're like on your back's to the
Oh.
camera.
What we could figure out as if, and correct me if I'm wrong, was that he was not the right sort.
He was,
In Ida's mind, he was lower class than they were.
Oh, not good.
and.
Yeah.
He was not good enough.
But Ida, the politician, gave him, and he's a young guy, 21 years old at the time,
Mhm.
gave him the head of transportation for the state
For the state.
without, and he was constantly working, stressed out.
Yep.
And so Ida and May told him, well, they're going to Buckley to spend the weekend in Buckley. Okay. Well, Ida and May came up with this plan. Yeah. And rest is history.
Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's something.
And he didn't know, obviously he was asleep, but after he actually died, he realized what had happened, you know?
Yeah.
But
And
when you know it's gonna hit the floor, I didn't speak. And Donna's asked me, you know, you okay? Why, the reason why I couldn't speak, because the story was, it was just rolling in my head. It's like somebody just opened up a book.
Yeah.
you
We
know?
did have the other murder too in front of the kids' house that we
Yeah.
helped with.
oh my gosh.
Yeah,
that's
remember?
right.
You went over there
Which one?
too, remember?
Remember when they lived in that little
In Browns
house?
Point?
I
At the
remember.
apartments?
And there was.
Kenny and Angela.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I was there, I was there.
Right, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah, you
that's
and I went
right.
over.
that was just you. and
There
me
was
there.
there was a kid about 18 that was shot right in front of their apartment.
He was murdered.
And they didn't know who did it. And so anyway, the kids started having things happen in their apartment that was weird, and you know, dishes falling and all this stuff. So they had us come over. We'll come to find out it was the spirit of the boy that was killed, and he was telling us who killed him and gave us a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gave
me a name of
Donna
Christopher.
We got, okay, the recording that I was listening to, they asked who did it and everything. And 3 times in a row, he said, effing Chris, effing Chris, effing Chris.
Yeah. So we said, you need to go
And-
visit Chris, and
the
you need to get
media,
him to turn himself in.
we
The
knew
next
his
morning
name.
he did.
We knew his
wow.
name before the media pronounced it. It was Chris
That's right.
So you
something. I
guys
don't,
solved the murder.
Yeah. So,
Wow.
well, we got
Well,
the
he-
spirit to go over and convince him to
He
turn himself
solved-
in.
Yeah, he went and basically haunted his murderer
Yeah,
Wow.
I like that.
until
Yeah.
he
Nice
turned
try.
himself
that
in.
was cool. That was cool.
I mean,
Right
that's-
out of the
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah.
and we rented unit number 8 at Fort Casey. Okay, everybody had their cameras out, cases, everything out in the living room. And our son Kenny goes, did you guys hear that? I said, hear what? There's a woman talking in the kitchen. So everybody got up,
Wow.
walked to the kitchen. So there's the front door, my back was towards the front door. And I wanted to get a shot of the camera with the group in the kitchen, you know? And all of a sudden that front door, boom, hit me in the back.
Yeah.
My camera went out my hand and I caught it,
Wow.
you know, and I went, what? You know, I said some other things. But after we went home, I went over the recording, there was a guy saying, he told me to get out here, like that. Okay, and then we were up all night because the bedrooms had full of bed bugs in the
So we didn't want to sleep in the bed.
so we stayed up
Yeah.
all night. We
Yeah.
stayed up all night and we're talking everything. And then I said something to the group. And in that recording, the same voice is telling me, move.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wanted me outside.
Oh, he was angry.
Well, and then
No, it's
The-
military guy.
the next time we went, Kenny and Stephanie and I stayed in
Oh, that's right.
one of the houses, and you guys had a different one.
Mhm.
And Stephanie just like crashed. She went right to sleep. And I had kind of a fitful little bit of sleep. And cause I kept feeling somebody touching me and staring at me. And I woke up, it was probably about 3 in the morning or so. And I heard from this side, he won't touch, no, he won't hurt you. He's just watching.
Yeah.
And I was like, boom, my eyes flew open. And I was like, and Stephanie was sound asleep. But I could hear Kenny pacing. And I got up and we were just like, he kept seeing and hearing things. Someone kept going up and down the stairs, up and down the stairs. And I kept hearing it. And then I was watching this shadow person walk by the bedroom door, and Kenny's bedroom was right next to mine. And he was watching the same guy with this, and it was this pattern where he'd come and he'd stare in our bedroom, walk over, look in Kenny's, turn around and go down the stairs. And then he'd come back up the stairs and stop at Kenny's door and then come over and stop at my door. It was, and we could hear him and we knew.
I think it was
exactly where he
residual, don't you
was.
Yeah,
think?
that totally sounds
Yeah,
like
residual.
recording
Yeah.
going over and over again.
Yeah.
Fine.
We should get
Oh,
going
yeah.
before it gets really dark. You
Well,
think?
make
yeah.
sure, no, but what time, I don't even know what time it is.
It's 5:42.
Oh, we'll see if
Oh.
anybody has any questions or anything.
Yeah, ask
It is-
questions.
Yeah.
Oh, I have a question. So you guys said that, so some of the spirits attack like artistic kids and
Mhm.
etc. Like, how do you get those spirits or that kid, that spirit off those kids?
Well, we try to convince them. I mean, they have a will, so you can't force them. You could bubble
You
the,
can.
I know people that do
Yeah.
force them, and I
And
think
they
it's
don't
incredibly
know. It's
unethical.
wow, yeah, I
Also,
would,
I think
Yeah, now you're talking exorcism.
yeah, I am
Right.
not into
And,
that.
and that's not something that we do.
Mm-mm,
I know people who do,
mm-mm.
Yeah.
but
No.
that's
But
bad stuff. And usually that's not what's going on.
And the-
You can convince them to leave.
A lot of times they don't
Well,
even know that they've passed, to be
usually,
honest.
yeah,
That's true.
usually there's
Yeah.
an awful lot of them that don't even realize that
Yeah.
they're dead.
So that's
And
something
so
we
you
always
have to
ask.
have, when you first make contact and you're able to talk to them,
Right.
telling them that they're dead is, a big thing. and
Well,
you
yeah,
have to
you
go
add,
through
do you
the-
realize that you
talk them
passed?
through the
Yeah.
grief
And another-
and then the remorse and then
the thing
the
you have-
fears of judgment day and
It's right.
all that kind of thing. But then when they finally realize it's okay, and usually my experience has been, if you tell them that there's a light in front of them and they just have to go through it, they can see the light themselves.
Mhm.
You don't have to do anything. You just tell them that and
Yeah.
they'll just go.
There is a
sometimes
theory, though.
You have to do a little more than that.
I'm
But,
sorry to interrupt.
Mhm.
There is a theory that in the teens, 20s, church groups, okay, they had this belief that if you're a sinner, you're going to go to hell.
Oh,
Well,
well, that
right.
still
Okay.
stands
still
for,
today.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, so when they pass, they don't know if they're going to go to heaven
So
or
they're
hell.
scared.
They
Right.
don't want to go to the light,
Right.
Yeah.
fearing that
And
they're going to go
so-
to hell.
They're
Yeah.
afraid of it.
And so this
So-
is where,
That's where we come in and we
Really
do it.
yeah.
and
Really
I
weird.
say, if that is what you were taught from the pulpit,
Mhm.
and that is why you're still here, because you fear that what you did was so wrong and so bad
Mhm.
that you're gonna go to hell. This is your opportunity, because you haven't crossed, to ask for the forgiveness that you feel like you need. And that is
Sing
usually,
it,
I will
sister.
say, 9 times out of 10, they're gone.
And it doesn't matter if you're Christian or not, it's
Nope.
still a
Right.
forgiveness, like from the
A
earth or from,
forgiveness.
like
Right.
if you're
For what-
into,
For whatever your belief.
yeah.
Right.
See, another
Absolutely.
thing that the tool I use is we'll do before we go to to investigate wherever we're going. We do research.
Oh, tons of
And I
research.
want names. I
Yeah.
want names.
We figure out
So
what,
when you have names,
Dates, did somebody die there? You
Yeah.
know,
what
it
was
is
underneath the building that is,
ley
you know,
lines,
yeah.
all-
So-
the
we do
whole
tons
thing.
of,
so what I want to do is contact them. I want
Right.
to hear them, So I have a list of names. I'll go with one name to the next and all of a sudden, bingo, man, I got something.
Mhm.
It's like Walker Ames. He tried forever to find out the names of
The last name of the guy.
What do you call those people? Not maids.
The butler?
The butler and the maid. Okay. The maid upstairs in the attic is their room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chamber maid.
And
that's where there's a lot of activity.
I caught her name. I was standing in the just outside the bedroom, and I said, "Were you a maid here?" She said, "Yes."
She was
Okay,
abused.
what's your name?
Yeah, she was.
Sarah.
Mhm.
And then I caught the last name too. Pete's been trying to get that name forever. I got it. And I sent the audio to him. He was so excited.
Yeah, that's
And
great.
So, yeah,
And then my daughter got confirmation in her sleep after we did an investigation, and we kept hearing certain names and you know, picking things up. My youngest daughter is a medium as well. And when we pulled in to meet you guys for breakfast, you remember this, the next day, pulled into the house that is right as you're facing Walker Ames' house. There's a house to the right, and he was the mill manager. So yeah, and it was him, and it says right on the sign his name, all the kids he had, you know, how many kids he had, and all that kind of stuff. And the message that he was trying to get through was tell people that we had a good life and we're happy and everything's good. So, you know, because some people that go in there, you know, they want to stir it up and make it
and
dramatic
provoke it, and
you know,
we just don't do that.
Right.
no.
There's an awful lot of, I've had, and I'm sure you guys had experiences of like the little girl that grabbed my ankle, and you know, when you walk in and you get pushed or choked or whatever, the instant reation is, oh, that's a negative spirit that's got it out for me, and that's almost never the case.
Right.
It's usually, oh, look, somebody can see me, somebody can talk to me, please come talk to me, and they don't realize that they're choking you.
And they're trying to get your attention.
Talking about your ankle, I was walking up the stairs to the attic and I had shorts on and like grabbed my leg. I jumped this high. We're in the dark, right?
Oh, no. Yeah, we do our
turned my
investigation
in the dark. Yeah.
And I turned my flashlight to where I had, it was stupid wallpaper hanging down.
He thought, oh, I got touched.
I will say though that there are spirits that I've encountered. So this is one of my most unfavorite stories. Was I was called to help this woman in Issaquah whose 5-year-old, well, maybe more like 8-year-old son was being harassed in his sleep. And it was a pedophile ghost that was harassing this little boy. And so as I'm having this conversation with this ghost, it was aware that it was dead. It was not moving along. It had no interest in moving on, right? It was totally convinced that, you know, Judgment Day was not going to be good for him.
Yeah.
Right.
And oh, well, God, I keep interrupting you.
That's all right.
Because
That's all right. We're
I'm
sparking
thinking of
each other.
cases, and another case just popped in my head, and it was friggin' awesome.
Go ahead. Let her finish.
But my punchline is, and Leah's going to say this better than I do, but I feel like one of my roles in doing this work is being like a ghost counselor,
Right.
Yeah.
and you know,
Yeah,
helping
that's what it
them,
feels like.
helping them get past whatever the hell that is in their little you know, they get stuck in this
they need
cyclical thinking that they're stuck or they're not stuck or they're you know, whatever it is.
Or
They're not,
because they want to solve their murder or
right, right.
You know, it's just completely misguided stuff.
So that's
Right.
why when people ask us why we do it, because we want to help the spirits
That's
as much
right.
as the
Yeah.
live people.
That's right, because
You
it's
know?
very
And we wanna
rewarding
know
and
their-
fulfilling
we wanna
sometimes
know their history.
to help them out.
They're people.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
now,
Right.
we did another case in Auburn, a friend of mine from work, coworker. Okay, it was amazing. Anyway, he said, I'm having weird stuff happening, you know. So I went into his bedroom and there's Terry and what's her bucket? Jeanette was in there with me. And I'm asking questions. And I said, what's your name? Harry. Hi, Harry. How you doing? Good. I said, Harry, can you come over here next to me on the bed and sit down? And I heard this on the left headphone. I heard this, whoop. And all of a sudden, whoop, sat down next to me on the bed. Okay. And Donna was in the dining room looking at the camera, the video. And didn't you say there was a blue
I said, you've
orb?
got company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a
Yeah.
blue orb on my back. And I felt like fingers running down my back like this.
Yeah, it was energy, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and she saw this ball.
There was a lot of
Yeah.
stuff going on in that house. He
Yeah.
had was it his wife or his
Yeah,
fiance?
she passed away, but she was in hospice.
She was in hospice.
in the living room.
Yeah.
And he had a clock that was tick, you know. So one of the girls asked, "Can you stop that clock?" Whoop, stopped it.
Yeah,
I
just
said,
on
"Now, can you
command.
make it turn on. Turn it right back on.
Yeah. And then we heard her say, help me, or
I asked, "Can you see us?" And she said, "Yes." And
Why was she there? What was her problem?
I
Was
don't-
she-
I just think
why
she
wasn't
hasn't moved on
hanging
yet.
on?
before we
Yeah.
okay, before we leave, I don't want to go when it's dark.
Okay.
Anyway,
Yeah, it's almost 5 till, so
we did the Dumas, Dumas brothel. It's the longest standing brothel in the United States. Back in the 20s, one entire block was nothing but brothels. And this is the last standing.
Where?
brothel.
in Dumas,
Yeah.
Montana.
Oh,
It
in
was,
Montana.
it was in shambles, but it was still usable, you know. And so there was 4 of us there. And I was in the main hallway. I held a $20 bill. This is what can I get for this?
Oh, I thought
And
our
a
son said
mail-
that.
And I caught a mail telling me nothing. Okay. And then Kenny did almost the same thing.
And he was only 19 or 20.
Yeah. And
Thank you.
I got a woman saying F him. Okay. And then I caught 2 women talking. The first one says, I'm getting dressed. The second one said, okay. So we're down in the basement where the tunnels were. And one of the bedroom in the window was this weird looking container. And I'm reading the ingredients of this container. I'm not going to say what it's used for because I feel
Yeah,
stupid.
please
saying
don't.
it.
Thank you.
But I went, oh God, that's gross sounding. And I caught this woman just cracking up laughing for what I said. And so we went back up the main hallway and we're walking kind of towards the front door. All of a sudden, a blue light just goes kaboom inside this building. And all of us jumped. What was that? Yeah, wasn't outside. It was right inside the door.
Interesting.
But it was so cool, man, being there.
You walk out of those places thinking, this just really happened.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Now,
Right.
if you can, you could do research maybe on YouTube. Ghost Adventures went there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's a different set of owners.
Yeah.
The owner that we talked to was a freak. We came across some photos from this photo studio. Not cool.
Anywho, does
Not cool.
anybody have any questions before we
Oh,
leave?
Yeah.
okay.
How do these people like find you?
They contact us on our website. They can put in a request.
They Google
Yeah.
ghost hunting
Or paranormal investigation.
Yeah, and we're the
Seattle.
first ones that pop up because that was made on purpose.
So anyway, they put in a request that comes to us in an email. And then we either just call them and talk to, like with COVID and everything, we kind of had to put everything on pause because, so we're just now kind of getting back into,
Yeah, people are
occasional.
probably.
Well, there's a lot.
Mhm.
I signed a set form on, called BARK,
Oh,
BARK.
yeah.
There are a ton of people looking for investigators on there.
Really?
You
Yeah,
guys
get
can
on
look.
bar.
Really?
Get on
Oh.
BARK. There's at
Ghost
least 5
Hunters
on there,
Oh,
in Western Washington.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wow.
because I'm ready to investigate.
Me too. I was just telling
Iowa.
him that I was.
Linwood.
Tony, I talked to him last night.
I think we can talk Rick into it too.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing,
And Tim.
Donna's gonna send an email to his management. Ed Sheeran has a attic.
He has
that's
an
haunted,
attic that
and
he's
scared to go up there.
scared to
So we're
death.
gonna offer our services to go do his home.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yes.
And I asked Tony about it. Would you go? In a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get right back to us.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Hey, it's worth a shot.
yeah, that would be.
Why not?
We saw him
Yeah,
in
sure,
concert
too.
twice, man.
I
Puts on
love it. Sure. Oh my
a great
gosh.
show.
I like
He's so cute.
All right.
Anyway, any
Now,
more questions
Do
before
we
we?
get paid now?
Oh,
Yeah.
geez.
How about on the call?
We do this. for
People on,
free.
oops, do people on the call have questions?
Is anybody there?
I have a question. Can you guys hear me?
Yep.
I'm really new to this. I feel like I could use some help and guidance because it just naturally happens to me and comes to me. Could use some help because I have no idea what the hell I'm doing. And I feel like I could get myself in a lot of trouble. What's the best way to reach out and get help?
So, well,
What do you need help with?
It's kind of a long story, but I was seeing a shaman healer, and she told me after a year that I have this ability to help spirits move on. I've always been attracted to cemeteries and always had spirits like issues with hauntings in my house, sleep paralysis, ghosts, things flying around in my house. It's just always been a part of my life. And then when she threw that at me, I was like, that's the craziest thing I've ever heard. You're crazy. Well, she's not crazy.
sure.
Medium.
Well,
So
if
now
he's
I'm trying to
if
get
you're
into
crazy,
it.
then so are we. Right? So, my 2 cents worth is learn Reiki. And I say that because we have, I think, uncovered a huge connection between the use of Reiki in ghost situations and the ability for the healer to help the ghost move on. I think Reiki is tremendously powerful on a lot of levels. I'm not saying this very well, but in a ghost situation, we've talked about how Reiki can calm the ghost down and make it a more positive conversation. There's a lot of things that Reiki in that situation can, it helps the healer, it helps the ghost, it helps the house, even any place that's had a lot of haunted activity, even after the ghosts move on, the house will feel awful, right? And Reiki is hugely helpful in that too. So I know I'm kind of sounding like a broken record, but Reiki first and foremost is going to help the healer be safe and be clean and be calm, which is going to help everything you do.
But then, like you were saying, I think she needs help. Maybe.
Well, she needs to contact us. Where is she located?
Yeah.
I'm in Seattle.
Seattle. Okay. Our center here is over in Silverdale. We do one-on-one Reiki certification classes here out in Silverdale. we're also available to do it at a distance, like on Zoom. Leah and I are Reiki master teachers, and I also teach mediumship training and psychic development coaching.
Yeah, that's what I need.
We'll have Sheri give you guys a link, maybe
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
our center and what we do
Right.
here.
And
Get a hold of us.
Sheri and I do the ghost healing, the moving them on and things like that. There are techniques to know in that too. So.
Yeah, but just get a foundation for yourself.
Yes, absolutely.
Definitely the Reiki 1 and 2. And you can do that over 2 days. 2 days, you'll be a Reiki practitioner and get guidance and mentorship from us. And then for the mediumship coaching, that will just go right along with, the mentoring with the Reiki. And those two together, that creates a really good foundation for going into any kind of psychic work and whatever you want to do with it. If you want to heal people, if you want to say ghosts are just naturally attracted to you, that's probably going to be your calling, is helping people cross over.
She needs to know how to
learning how to-
manage everything.
How to
Right.
manage. And I was born psychic, and I had all kinds of health problems when I was younger. Once I learned how to harness and control my energies, fibromyalgia gone, getting colds all the time gone. It was me absorbing everything around me. So Reiki teaches you how to, harness your own energy and protect yourself. So get a hold of us. We'll show you
And
the
what
way.
also helps if you make a good spaghetti dinner.
Oh, gosh. He's just hungry,
He's
you know?
just hungry.
I am on.
Okay. All right, so anybody else before we,
Yeah, I have one more question. So the ghosts that's trapped in time, what do you do? Like, how do you even go about releasing them out of the time that they keep like going in a cycle?
Well, they have to release themselves. They have to choose to move on.
We suggest that they move on, but it's up to them,
Right.
you know.
And so,
That's what I was saying, that we're basically ghost counselors.
yeah, you
Because
have to
we're,
guide
we're
them.
talking them through the
Yeah,
process.
yeah.
And helping them get over the reasons that they're hanging on.
Right. Find out what that is.
That's
Which
if
is-
it's an intelligent haunting.
Right.
Or a like a residual haunting, that would be more of a clearing of the energy.
Right.
Just healing,
Right.
clearing that out. Because it's just like
It's like a video, it's like a-
video.
Right.
Over and over and over. Because they don't even know what you,
They
they don't
know,
even
they're
know
not
you're
aware.
there. Yeah.
Oh, well. that's-
Fascinating stuff.
Mhm. Any
Thanks
other
so
questions
much.
on the call? Feel free to reach out. We're here for you.
Absolutely.
And our website is on there too, the link.
Yep.
Yes.
So
Yep.
if you need
Okay.
help.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, now I got the long drive.